Whenever you first make something, it is not going to be perfect. But however, over time, you realize the mistakes and you get it just right. And that is exactly the problem that Voldex is having with some licensed vehicle models in Driving Empire. And some of these bugs have been in the game ever since these vehicles were added, and some of these I recently discovered. And I want to see if you could try to spot them while watching this video. I want to put out a quick disclaimer. None of these bugs make the cars unusable for anyone, but however, these are just minor mistakes that the devs forgot to fix before adding these cars, or maybe there was just like no possible way to fix it. Or maybe there is, I'm just not too sure. Anyway, we're starting off with one of the most expensive cars, which you probably saw right at the beginning of the video, the Audi R18 Ultra. Now, this is an old 24-hour Le Mans race car, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. But however, look, you see this metal, like, rod right here? Like, the metal hinge right here? That connects this to that part of the car? Look, if I go ahead, open up the door, you see that? Those two metal rods just go straight through the car. Like, look at that. Like, look, no metal rod there. Oh, and also, look, you see this right here? I think this is supposed to be like a in-car mirror, like a mirror in the car or whatever. But however, I go ahead and pop the door open. Yeah, no, that's not good. It just goes straight through the carbon fiber. And also, this piece just floats there. It's like that for the other door, too, except there's no mirror in the interior, because, I mean, it makes sense, because it's a 24-hour Le Mans race car. Next up, though, is with another Audi race car. The Audi R8 LMS GT3 Evo 2. Or however you want to say the last part, Evo, whatever. If I go ahead and spawn it, you'll think that there's nothing wrong with this car. And while that might be true, if you go ahead and put your camera in the engine, look, you see this part right here? This is the part with like the two Audi logos that you see like from, you know, this angle right here. However, if I go ahead and point my camera under it, pause, you can see it's just floating there. The only support it's getting is from these two blocks. Or that's one whole, like, prop, I guess, or one whole piece of the engine. I don't know. Now, nobody uses those cars that much, so I don't really think it bothers you. But unless if you're trying to get photos of the R18 Ultra with the doors open, then yeah, the metal rods are really going to bother you whenever the doors are open, because they literally just go straight through the car. Next up is with the 2023 Bentley Flying Spurs Speed Edition 12. Now, if I go ahead and spawn this, there's a chance that some of the interior will be green instead of blue. Yeah, like, look at this. It's supposed to be this shade of blue. Look, you see on the passenger seat, like where my cursor is? This part right here on this seat is supposed to be blue. But however, it's green. Now, sometimes it will either be the passenger seat that has this effect, or the driver's seat, or it could be both. And sometimes whenever you go to, like, respawn the car, it would fix itself. Yeah, like, look, this is what I just told you. The green would spawn on either the passenger or driver's seat, or it could potentially be on both seats at the exact same time. Or it could just be completely normal. Now, if you drive in first person, like, you know, directly, like, looking at the road in front of you, like, it doesn't really bother you. But however, when you go to, like, you know, do this, yeah, no, that's gonna bother you every single time. Next up is with the 1963 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Now, this has been the game ever since this vehicle was added, but if I go ahead and go into the first-person camera, look, you see the logo right there in the center of the steering wheel? If I go ahead and turn it, the logo just stays in place. It doesn't move, like, at all. Keep in mind, this vehicle was added in December of 2024. It is now April of 2025 as I'm recording this right now. And this still has not been fixed. Now, if you drive in third person, it really doesn't bother you that much, but if you're a person that loves to drive like this, then yeah, no, it's gonna bother you every single time you turn the steering wheel. Like, it's just a slight inconvenience that annoys you every single time you notice it. Like, the first time you notice it, it's a really, really triggering. Like, it just makes that, like, it makes that anger in your head just explode. Pause. Like, you just feel that, like, you just feel a jolt of anger in your head whenever you see something like this in first person. Especially if you're a person that loves to drive with the first person camera, then yeah, no, you're gonna be bothered by this every single time. Next up is actually with the 2023 Corvette Stingray. Now this one is of the CE8. Now at first glance you might think nothing's wrong with this car, and you might be correct, because nothing is wrong with the exterior, but however the interior has a slight different color of stitching, you know. Like, look, you see, I went with dark red stitching, and I even tagged Voldex in this problem on Twitter, saying that some stitching on this spec on this Corvette, whenever the like stitching is like a different color, like you can clearly see it's a different color. Like, the stitching on the seats in the default spec on this car is blue. But however, on the driver's side door, look at that! There's blue stitching. That is the default blue stitching that is in the car. The stock spec, by the way. Now, if you're in third person, like driving like this, it doesn't really bother you that much, but neither like in this angle, but if you're a person that loves to drive in first person and you go to turn the wheel, just like the 1963 Corvette Stingray, you're going to be bothered by this probably every single time you turn the car left. You know, like every single time you turn the wheel, or you're looking at this specific angle, you're going to see some blue stitching there. Yeah, which is really annoying. Next up is actually with the 2009 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. Now, I want to quickly note that this is fixed. Like, this was something that was on the car when it was first added. It is patched now, but I thought that it was extremely funny, and I had to give it an honorable mention in this video. When this car was first added, it had, like, doors that went up in the style of, like, a Lamborghini or McLaren or whatever. Like, the doors would just go, meow, just straight up. Like, hold up, let me get out of McLaren here. Yeah, like, the doors on it, like, the doors on the 2009 Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 used to just go like this. I am not even kidding. Fresh Rambo even posted a video about it, and he was extremely confused. If you want to see that video, I'll link it down in the description below. Anyway, moving on, next up is with the 2019 DiTomaso P72. And there's another one in the DiTomaso Pantria GT5. Now, unlike the interior on the Bentley, which sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes, like, the DiTomaso logo, like, won't be there. Like, sometimes it will be there, sometimes it won't. Like, if you've had this experience happen to you before, you would know what I'm talking about. Like, the DiTomaso logo would just not be on the front of the car. Like, it would just not be there. And the only spot it would be sometimes is on the interior, on the steering wheel. Now, like the Bentley Flying Spurs Speed Edition 12, this has a chance of happening once in a while, but it's not with the interior, it's on the badge on the front. And if you've had that experience happen to you, like, you would know what I'm talking about if you had it happen to you, like, no DiTomaso logo. And if the DiTomaso logo, like, isn't there, like, you really wouldn't notice it that much, like, driving from this perspective, or in first person. But, like, when you're trying to get, like, a close-up photo of the car in a free cam, like, you zoom in, like, extremely close, yeah, you're gonna be bothered by the fact that there's probably gonna be no DiTomaso logo there. Like, right here. Also, I don't know why those trucks over there are still in the game. Those were added in October of 2024, and yet they still have, like, those alien eggs in the back. Like, I don't know what the alien eggs have to do. Maybe more Koenig's eggs? I don't know. Next up is actually with the Pantria GT5. Now, it took me a while to notice this one. I didn't notice it for, like, a couple of months, actually. But if you go ahead and look in here, look, you see this right here? That is supposed to be right down here. However, it's just floating there, mid-air. Hey, yo, wait. That actually kind of... Why did that actually kind of rhyme? It's just floating there, mid-air. That actually kind of rhymes. Dang. I mean, I know some of you might seem like it doesn't rhyme to you, but to me, it kind of does. And also, why do I feel like that this car took inspiration from the Lamborghini Countach? I mean, look at this. Same setup for the exhaust system, same rear wing, and the same, like, you know, I don't even know what, like, I don't even know what these parts are called, but, like, if you've seen the Lamborghini Countach 5000 QV, you would know what I'm talking about, because obviously you've seen, like, the part that extends for the rear wheel. Hey, yo, pause. Oh, and don't forget, and not to mention, the pop-up headlights. And the hood even opens up the exact same way. Now listen, I'm not trying to say that DiTomaso copied Lamborghini, but at the same time, it kind of looks like that they did just a bit. Anyway, on to the next car. This is actually with the 2006 Ford GT. Now, you probably won't notice this, or in fact, you probably don't even notice this at all. But if I go ahead and spawn it in, look, right here. Look at that. The suspension spring is just floating there. Same with this side, too. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that Voltex should have had, like, some sort of, like, metal beam, like this, or whatever. Right down here. On both sides. It's here. Like, that is two simple parts that you forgot to add. Now listen, I'm not trying to hate Voldex. I'm trying to, I'm not saying that they don't have to fix like any of these, but it would be nice if they fixed like some of these. Alright, but next up is with the 2008, 2013, and 2008 Gunport Apollo Sport, Gunport Apollo, and Gunport Apollo Enraged. Now, we'll start off with the base model, and I think every single one of these cars have, like, an issue, except for this one, I'm pretty sure. Oh, and also, why is this billboard, like, floating here? I know that this is, like, kind of off topic, but this is just floating here. Like, there's stuff, like, there's other stuff that that is, like, floating around the map. If you want me to just make a video where I point out stuff that's, like, floating around the Driving Empire map, let me know down below. Anyway, we're starting off with the base model. These will be the last 3 cars I do for this video. If you want to see a part 2 to this, then let me know down below in the comments, because I actually seem really interested in doing another video like this, because, this, like, actually seems, like, pretty fun to do, so. Anyway, aside from that, the engine cover. Look, you see this, like, you see all these, like, chains here? Like, the decal of these chains, or whatever these are? Well, if I go ahead, yeah, look, they're just gone! They're not even, what? Oh, and it's the same for these 3 parts, too. Like, look, not there! Like, look. Also, I don't know why you can see the road. Maybe that's how the car was designed IRL? Like, not the road in front of you, but, like, the road, like, here, you know. Next up is with the Gunport Apollo Sport. Now, this doesn't have to do with the engine cover, but it kind of does at the exact same time. Look, you see this hood scoop right here? Now, this is the thing that air gets, you know, that air captures, and it goes into the engine to cool it down. However, you notice this part right here? If I go ahead, pop this open. Look at that! It just stays there! Like, what? Like, no matter how many times you do that, it just stays there. Anyways, last car for today is going to be with the Gunport Apollo Enraged. Or maybe this won't be the last car, I don't know. I think I might have time for like 1 or 2 more. Anyway, this one has to do with the interior. You see, sometimes, whenever you spawn the car, now, this isn't actually, like, it doesn't actually happen here, but, like, whenever you spawn this car, like, sometimes when you spawn this car, like, you see this right here, like, the red, yellow, and black stripes on the steering wheel? That's the German flag. However, instead of there being a red there would sometimes be 2 yellows and a black on the steering wheel. Like, wait, hold up, I wanna wait. Yeah, no, like, I'll provide, like, evidence in this in, like, the next video I do on these bugs, but, you know, if you've had this happen to you, you would probably know what I'm talking about. But if you don't believe me, like I said, I'll probably submit evidence in the next video that I do on this topic. Anyway, next up is with the Hennessy Venom 5 Revolution Roadster. Now, this one is one that I discovered like a couple of weeks ago. Now, it doesn't really bother you that much. I mean, you can... Now, if you're in first person, you can, like, kinda notice it if you, like, look extremely closely. Well, like, look, if I go ahead... Look, you see that little carbon fiber piece that the steering wheel is on? Like, look, right there where my cursor is, I go ahead and turn the car. Yeah, it moves. Like, that little part there moves. And it's not supposed to do that. Like I'll show you in the normal Venom 5 Roadster. Only the steering wheel moves. Like, look, that little piece right there, it doesn't move. Alright. Alright, I think I might have time for one or two more. Listen, I know I kinda lied before, but I told the truth and said I would be honest. And, you know, I was honest. And, you know, but I think this might be the last car for this video. Well, no, I think I'll do the Koenigsegg too. The issue with the three Koenigsegg's have, like, the Agera RS, the Jesko, and the Regera. I'll do the issue that all of us have. But first up is the KTM X-Bow GTN. Now, I don't know if this is an issue or not, but, you know, I'd imagine that they probably had to do this because they didn't want to, like, you see this right here, like this yellow bar on the steering wheel? Look, if I go ahead and tilt my camera at a certain angle, you'd see it goes out of the boundaries. Like, look at that! But however, like this, it just... Ow! Oh, dude, I just remember... Oh my god, I don't know if I would want to do this, but, guys, I know I said leave a comment below, but leave a comment below if you guys want me to play Driving Empire with a hazmat suit on. If you don't know what a hazmat suit is, it's like one of those things that allow you to feel pain in real life. Pretty much like if you're playing a game and, you get hit in the game or whatever, the hazmat suit pretty much makes you feel the pain from the game in real life, which is absolutely crazy. Oh my god, dude, I don't know. I mean, should I really do something like that? I mean, I've seen Mangopool do it for the Goobers channel, like in Murder Mystery 2, A Dusty Trip and whatnot, and some other Roblox games. Like, Mango has done that on the Goobers channel, but I want to know, should I do something like that, but with Driving Empire? Let me know down below in the comments. And I might do a Dares video with it, too. Oh god, I don't know if I'm going to be ready for that. But anyways, last up is with the Koenigsegg's. The Koenigsegg Agera RS, the Jesko, and the Regera. Now, the Gemera doesn't have this problem because, you see, all the Koenigseggs in-game, except for the Gemera, have this exposed mechanism, which, in real life, the mechanism is exposed to allow the Koenigsegg doors to open in the iconic way that you see them in. Like, look, you see that right there? Like, look, if I go ahead, get in the interior, look at that. It's just floating there mid-air. It's still attached to the door, but it's just floating there. It is on both sides, too. Same with the Jesko. and the Regera. Like, look at that! Oh, and also, I think, before I end off this video, I want to say that I think another, like, stock option would be cool for the Koenigsegg Jesko, because I have a picture of a Koenigsegg Jesko as my wallpaper on my phone, and I'm looking at it right now, and this part here of the spoiler, like, this entire rear wing, like these two parts right here are the same color as the car, but these things here are just carbon fiber. You know, I want them to do something like that, but with the carbon fiber stripes, and, like, the, well, maybe not, like, look, I'll go ahead and show you guys it in the customization shop. Like, look, if I go ahead, get it right here, you see on how it does, like, the orange accents and stuff like that. However, if I go ahead and, do this here, look, it has certain parts of the car a different color, like this here, and here. However, I think a second stock option like this would be cool, but however, the painted parts where the carbon fiber is on the default spec, you go ahead and get rid of every single spot that has color on it, and you just go ahead and put the carbon fiber stripes and make these two parts and this part of the spoiler fully one color, while having these on the spoiler for the support all carbon fiber. Which I think that would be a really, really cool idea. I don't know about you guys, but... Oh, and also kind of like removing, like, you know, the silver line right here. I don't know about you guys, but I think that would be cool. Like, just have that line, like, be this color instead, or whatever. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. I really hope that you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead and smack that like button. And let me know if you guys want to see a part 2 of this. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.